Hello, my name's Holly. Welcome to Murder She Shed. Today is Wacky World Wednesday. And I am going to tell several crimes that are truly wacky, like crazy. So crazy, you're going to laugh. Sit, relax, but don't let your finger get lazy. Hit that like and subscribe real quick for more true crime on my channel, Murder She Shed. First suspect we're going to talk about is Donald Pugh. Donald Pugh was suspected of arson and vandalism, so a warrant was sent out for his arrest. The cops were looking for him. Donald clearly didn't think the photo captured his best side, so here is the old photo, and then he texts this new photo to the police department saying, here is a better photo, that one is terrible. And here is his photo that he texts to them. Still obviously wanting to repair his reputation, Donald then called into a local radio station to justify his actions. And, quote, he said, "Man, they just did me wrong. They put a picture out that made me look like I was a Thundercat or James Brown on the run. I can't do that." Police were delighted with Donald's help and later arrested him in Florida. This should be called Dumbest Criminals. Our next killer would have got away with murder if he didn't decide to write a book. Christian Bola, or Chris as he liked to call himself, is a Polish writer who wrote the book Amok 3 years after he committed an actual murder. And it is quite scary how he replicated some of the details in his actual murder and would still be a free man if he had just kept his trap shut. Chris met his wife Stacia in high school, and they got married straight out of high school. Chris became a successful businessman, but soon after that, he began to have multiple affairs on his wife. And in 2000, he not only lost his business, but he also was separated from his wife. She got tired of it. He continued to still be very possessive of her. Stacia went to a bar one night where she met a man named, and this is a hard name to say, and I was going to look it up and I forgot. His name is Dariusz and Januszewski. Okay? I don't know. I'm going to call him Darian for this show. They hit it off and he gave her his number. Later, they went on a date and checked in a hotel. But before anything happened, he admitted he was married and she left. She wasn't going to do that. She's like, no, that's not happening. Several weeks after their date, Chris showed up at her door. He was drunk and angry. He broke her door down. He started hitting her and wanting her to admit that she had had an affair with Darian. He said he had hired an investigator who had been following her and he knew everything. So later, after this occurred, she had heard of Darian's death and she asked Chris if he was responsible. He said no, and she believed him. She just didn't think he could be capable of murder. Yes, he was possessive, but murder, no, she didn't think so. After the divorce, Chris left Poland for the U.S. and Asia, where he started work on his novel, Amok. In the book, the victim in the book was a woman. He used a rope tie that was kind of unusual. It bound her hands behind her back, and it also looped in a noose around her neck. And every time she would move, it would choke her. And that's what happened in the book. And in real life, that is actually how he had done Darian too. He tracked down Darian at the motel where he worked and abducted him torturing and starving him for 4 weeks before doing this same weird rope tie around his neck and threw him in a river. Only in the book, his victim was stabbed and Darian was not, but she was thrown in the river as well. One other difference is that he'd used a knife on the victim in the book, and on Darian, he did not use a knife, but in the book, he sold the knife on an internet auction, but with Darian, after he murdered him, he sold his phone on the internet auction. The phone is what led the police to him. It had Chris's name on the phone, and the book sealed his fate. Stacia, after she later looked at the book, seen lots of similarities to her and the actual victim in the book. So actually, I think she's probably pretty lucky to be alive. He turned his anger to Darian instead. At the time of his arrest, Chris was writing a new novel, and when the cops looked on his computer, they found plans of where he was going to commit another murder to tie into this new book. So this guy could have got away with everything, and now he is in prison. And he's only received 40 years. I guess Poland doesn't have harsh sentences, maybe, because that is kind of insane to me. Our third suspect here was really craving Taco Bell one Sunday afternoon. 37-year-old Ricardo Jones of San Antonio, Texas, had a 3-hour standoff with the SWAT team and ended up getting into a shootout with the police because he was angry about, wait for it, his local Taco Bell raising the price of their beefy crunch burrito. See, before the standoff, Ricardo had gone through the drive-thru of his favorite Taco Bell and ordered 7, count them, 7 beefy crunch burritos. He was appalled to find the price had gone up from 99 cents to $1.49. He was so upset that he fired a BB gun at the Taco Bell manager, missed, then fled to a motel room. He also fired a real rifle in the direction of some police cars, but just took out a window. After 3 hours of SWAT negotiations, they finally used tear gas to get him out of the room and subdued him. No one was hurt in the shootout. Ricardo is looking at 2 felony accounts of aggravated assault and could get up to 40 years. Wow. I like chalupas too, but I'm not sure I do all that for one. As for the manager, who was 41-year-old Brian Tillerson, he said, quote, "They did used to be 99 cents, but that was just a promotion." Honestly, I can't really blame the dude for being so mad about this inflation. Jeez, everything's higher than a kite. Also, I heard that they didn't serve him any Taco Bell in jail either. Poor guy. He's not going to have Taco Bell for a while. Okay, we're going to end my Weird and Wacky Wednesday with a real bang. A bang in the head, that is. If you want to bust a door or a window, a brick can be a great tool. But it doesn't work so well if the criminal throws the brick at his partner instead of the actual window. Watch this video so you can learn how to not do a break-in. pretty nuts one too. Okay, those guys were not the brightest. That does it for this episode. If you want to watch more true crime, hit like and subscribe. Possibly don't use a brick to do it. See you guys on Sunday for a murder that has more twists and turns than a ballerina dancing on a hot tin roof. Subscribe to Murder She Shed. If you want to hang out with this cool Southern chick every week, you guys have a great week and come back now, you hear? See ya.